Hey, Coach, welcome to our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe down below and click up above. That way you'll be notified of everything that kind of comes through. If you're looking to win championships, if you're looking to have a messy basement like this, but a basement like this, go down over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It's the resources, it's mentoring, it's the one-stop shop for basketball coaches. Go over and check it out. Have a great day.
Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So excited that you decided to join us. I hope you had a great Halloween yesterday. Um, but before we jump into today's podcast, if you're watching on YouTube, I got my great Halloween quote unquote costume on. But before we jump on the podcast today, I'd like to do a big shout out, first of all, to Dr. Dish, the number one shoe machine on the market, bar none. Go over and check them out. Mention Coach Unplugged, mention Coach Collins, mention me. They will take really good care of you. We're excited. I think we're gonna be sponsors for another year. We're kind of working through some details, but I'm very excited that they believe in what we believe in. We believe in what they believe in, and it's a great organization. We own 3 of them. Mention me, and they'll take really good care of you. Also, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It's a one-stop shop for basketball coaches. If you're thinking of joining, if you're struggling, if you're looking for practice ideas, if you're looking for that kind of stuff, Teach Hoops is the answer. I'm here to help. It's what I would have wanted as a young coach. I built it around the stuff that the questions and the things that I would have wanted as a young coach. And it's getting to the point where I'm probably going to have to shut down pretty soon. I started Championship Access, and I'm kind of trying to mentor coaches. So I'm not sure how many more people I'm going to be able to take. But anyway, go over and check it out, teachhoops.com, for coaches who want to get better. All right, so today we're going to talk about a couple things. This week I had my win this season masterclass, and it was great. And I wanted to just jump on and talk about a couple of things that I kind of dove into. We talked about in the masterclass, and you can go, if you want to go watch the whole thing, you can go over and check it out. Sign up for the next one at winthisseason.com. But anyway, a couple things that I talked about. We were talking about practice planning and kind of game management and changing momentum. And one of the things that I think really jumped out was I talked about timeouts, and I talked about how to effectively use timeouts. And I think that minute has to be gold to you. That minute needs to be sacred. That minute needs to be planned out. I think a lot of coaches, I don't remember who told me this, but a lot of coaches, talk about the storm, but don't navigate it and during a timeout. So let me do that again. You're the captain of the ship, and a lot of coaches just talk about the storm, but they're not navigating their players through it. They're not telling them the specific things. So I thought I'd break down a little bit of how we do our timeouts. I'll just talk about a full timeout today. But, so think about it, you got a full minute. The first 15 seconds, I tell the players it's yours. If you're, 70 feet away, then you got to run back to the bench. But that first 15 seconds is yours to get a drink, to get seated, to get refocused on what we're going to do. And usually I'll have 1 or 2 of my leaders kind of, talk or say a few things when they're sitting there, but, and we'll practice that. But that first 15 seconds is theirs, because at that point I'm talking to my coaches, and, is a full minute timeout, a full minute. Now it's probably more closer to a minute 20. So I'll take a good 15 or 20 seconds and, and talk to my coaches, and we'll just brain dump and talk about things. And again, it's not me telling them what's going on, that it's raining and the ship is all over the place. And but rather, here's how we're going to navigate it. We're going to put up the mask. We're going to move into a bay. Well, that's what I need to do. So when I get into a timeout, first thing I do is I tell them the most important thing that I think they need to know. And I reiterate that in short spurts. I am not drawing up 17 plays and doing all that. I just, the key point, what they're going to remember is maybe 1, maybe 2 things, but probably 1. So that most important thing I'm going to say at the beginning, and I'm going to say it at the end, just as they're leaving the timeout. If there's anything else inside that I got to fill in, and well, maybe how we're fronting the post or how we're doing that, or I got to grab a specific kid and talk to them, whatever I need to do in that middle 20 30 seconds. but I'm going to have one key point that I want to get across in that timeout. I'm not going to give them multitude of things. Simplicity wins. Wins in timeouts, it wins in half times, it wins in coaching, it wins in practice planning, it wins in everything. So you got to really take care of those kind of things. And then at the end, like I said, as they're coming out of the timeout, I'll give them something else. And then here's the kicker: is as they're leaving the timeout, I have one of my coaches holding up a sign. It tells how many full timeouts, how many 30s we have, and whose possession arrow it is, because I want to remind them as we're leaving, as we're kind of going out of the bench, how it's kind of working. I don't want them to have any question about timeouts. I don't want them to have any questions. And again, if it's at the end of the game and I got to talk specifics and I got to talk a play or I got to do something like that, or we're going to call it, if they score, we're going to call timeout. I'll have already had that discussion. I just want them to know as they're leaving every timeout how many fulls, how many 30s, and whose possession it has. And I put an assistant coach in charge of that. And I think that it makes it pretty helpful. So just one of the many things, win the season masterclass. I think the last one we did was almost 2 hours. We talked about game planning, we talked about momentum, we talked about the end of game situation stuff. I really dove into that, talked about some roles and goals and kind of how we try to change momentum and how we set goals up. Anyway, if you want to go over and check that out, wintheseason.com. It's free. There's about a stack of about this many handouts. So lots of things that you can go find. And they're free. You can go over and check it out at wintheseason.com. And I had the podcast, I had the masterclass a couple days ago and just fresh in my mind. Thought I'd share it with all of you on Coach Unplugged. So hopefully have a great Friday and aren't crashing from the sugar high yesterday on Halloween. So have a great weekend, everybody, and talk to you soon. Bye.
Hey, Coach, so glad you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed it a lot. Actually, if you did, subscribe and like, and then go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better.